with. Let me go ahead and see if I can't get her on. Jalani. Oh, got it. Jalani. Love it. La, 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 la. 10/29/25. This person, this person says thank you, so, and then they also stop you from like taking responsibility for it. I feel like you're like, this is going to be a lot, but I feel like we're like, no, and then you can't catch water in your hands perfectly, and you lose track of the drops, and no, I could have done something about it. So there's a feeling of slipping through your fingers, not feeling like you did enough, holding the grief that you could have done more, a hole you could have patched to keep things together. But I would say thank you for feeling that way, but don't hold that grief. And then I also feel that this person may have passed in a medical way. They also give me a body scan, and they're like, there's really no way to see it. There's really nothing we could have done. There's really no way to have known. We do a body scan, I see the lower body. She's like, there's just no way we could have known. Like, it's something you can't necessarily see. So it seems internal. It seems like we don't even know things are there until they're surprising us or showing up at our door, or we're in the throes of a side effect of it. So it just, and then I kind of feel this nauseous feeling and this swirling around, like, you know, when you flush a toilet and you're like, okay, fine, there it goes, hang in there. And there's this feeling of everything kind of just whirlpooling into one big situation, can't do it. And then you're like, no, and you try to catch it and put it back together, and you can't really do that. You can't stop a toilet from flushing, you know what I'm saying? You can't just like stop it. You can't hold all the flush water and pretend it didn't happen that way. So please let me know if this resonates. I also feel like this person could be like a mother figure, and then they show me something comfortable, like a blanket or bedding, which is a little different than sign symbol of being bedbound, excuse me. But they're almost like showing me like a bedding or blanket or something. It could be something we made in honor of their memory. Something warm. And then she puts her hand on me, and then she goes like this with really cold hands. Like, hold on. So that could also indicate the medical. Maybe we felt like we were able to patch it. Maybe we felt like we were maintaining something. Maybe we felt like we were a part of it, and then we feel like we weren't able to, like, you know, keep Humpty Dumpty put together, and essentially just starts this, you know, decline. Well, we were just supposed to go to the doctor. We're just supposed to do this 2 days from now. And then it just kind of slips through your fingers. Jalani is my son. Beautiful. Okay, and so I don't think that refreshes a whole lot and still keeps the rose there. And honestly, the bed looks meticulous and untouched, and that wouldn't explain you taking his clothes and making things in honor of his memories, because a lot of times moms don't do that. They don't destroy items of clothing. But if I'm looking at the bed and it's sitting there and it's perfectly made, I'm like, not my usual sign and symbol, but we definitely have something from it. This could mean that we haven't touched anything and kept everything the way that we have it. You know, we okay, give me a second. And then he goes, this and then this, and there's just no coming back from that, Kato. And then, hold on. He says it caught in a fine place between what was inevitably going to happen and what was happening. It was like situation. He left this life while he was sleeping. I'm like, why is the bed so vivid, and you'll even see on the recorded, and I'm like, he goes, it was between this and he was between this. It was like the underlying meets the actual situation. Two worlds come together. And I'm like, why are we drawing this bed? That you didn't make anything out of his memory for this bed. Usually if they pass in a medical state, I see it different. He left this world in his sleep. What happened? Did he have some sort of medical thing that just happened to catch up to him or decline him in his sleep? Because he talks about the medical. He talks about, oh, no. He had an extremely rare brain condition. So I'm assuming, Mom, that you were taking care of him, that you were doing everything to put everything back together as it went through its medical process. Then the second you weren't looking / he was sleeping, what, you wake up, you discover that, you go, no, try to put it back together, and you didn't expect it to be today, and you feel like it's your fault. It had never been seen before in the medical world until I donated his brain. What? So you didn't even find out that he had an incredibly rare medical condition until after he ended up passing? I swear that there was a point where he was like, I remember when you had said, well, he's my son, blah, 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 and then I had pointed to different things, and I was like, there's no way you could have known. It's this thing meets this thing, and it happened. He just left before we got to wake him. Up for school. Traumatizing. And he even said, like, the way we, oh, no, put things back together. He was misdiagnosed from birth. Listen, you cannot be taking responsibility from that, Mama. And the only reason you could is if you somehow knew it was a misdiagnosis but couldn't really put your finger on anything. Here's one thing. I don't think anything you were doing was hurting him. I think, let's say he's on a small handful of medications, then you realize he has this brain thing, and you look it up, and you look up all his medications, and you figure it out. Do you have his ashes? He was still so soft and warm when I scooped him up. And he talked about when you were doing this by his face, and he could feel like the coldness of your fingers. Oh my goodness. He was still so soft and warm when I scooped him up. That sucks so bad. You feel like he slipped right through your fingers, and you just essentially missed him, and you're like, no, put it back together, and that's how you felt, because you went to go wake your freaking baby up for school on a random day of the week, and he's still warm and not here, 6 years old. That's a little baby first grader, okay? That's a baby first grader. You went to go wake that little boy up with them soft cheeks and the hey little buddy and go learn how to read, you little stinker, and he's sitting there warm and soft, and he has a very rare brain condition that just took him away from his mama overnight. Terrible. Can't stop a flushing toilet. That's what he makes me seem. He was what he made me feel. I'm like, you can't stop a flushing toilet. Something that's inevitable. Something that's just medical and takes you away when it all catches up to itself. So it was medical. In fact, it was something medical that they didn't see, they didn't know about. And honestly, if you would have never donated his brain, you would have never known. He was so strong. He's an old soul in there, and he's still around you. He goes, subtle things will be different. Like, I could have sworn it was just 10:23. How is it 10:23 right now? I could have sworn I just saw the clock at 11:11. How is it 11:11 right now? He goes, glitches in your matrices, coincidence, little things. He goes, you've seen me before, Mom. You're going to see me again. It's not, I don't think it's going to be this lifetime. Just because when I look into your energy, I don't think you'll do it again. I don't know if you'll create another human purposefully again. So he tells me he's going to be with you in your next lifetime as well. You don't have to worry about him leaving at any point during this lifetime. You can say, hey, bud, you know, and boom, you're going to feel his energy. He goes, keep it exactly how it is. So I think you have his clothes. I think you still have a lot of his clothes in honor of his memory. Honestly, I can't really say that you've changed the bedroom at all. Don't know how long he's been gone, but he talks about this bed, and he talks about you not making a lot of changes. You're wanting to preserve and make it still feel like he's still there. And he goes, but I am there. She has this. And he kind of twirls something. It kind of looks like it's something that would hang on like a rear view mirror for a car. She's got this. So maybe we make something in honor of his memory. We make a little keepsake memorabilia, little trinket talisman, if you will, of his energy. He says, she does remember me. She's got this. And he points to that. So he's not leaving you, Mama. He'll be there for the rest of your life, your whole life. And if you want to remember him as a little 6-year-old, then that's exactly how he'll show up for the rest of your life. So pay attention to your dreams. And if you have a hard time dreaming, I think it'd be worth relieving a little bit of personal stress in your life so you have more energy to focus on having a spiritual relationship with your son on the other side. You have a tattoo with his ashes in it. I love this. Carrying him with you each and every day. She does remember me. Look at this. Your talisman, your tattoo in honor of his memory. Adorable. Adorable, and I love him.